Hi friends, it's Katie from Little Lemon Stitches, and that's my dog squeaking a toy behind me. I hope you're doing well. I'm really excited to give you this really brief Canva tutorial on how I take my patterns from a Google Doc and I input them into an Instagram friendly format. Now this overview is really basic. It's gonna be for beginners and it's gonna go over everything from backgrounds, finding inspiration on Canva, font, inputting text boxes, using frames for pictures, moving things around, just some really basic things. I do also have a pattern template available for purchase on Etsy and Ko-Fi. If you watch this video and you're like, this still doesn't give me the confidence to try, then you can start from scratch with a really basic pattern setup that I have in there for a pattern template. And so I'm really excited for this video because I have some people who I know have great patterns and they want to make them look nice, but they've put all this work into their pattern and then they don't know where to go from there because they see all these elaborate things on social media and on people's websites and Etsy's. And so I want to give you guys the confidence to make sure you're highlighting your pattern and not distracting from it in any way, whether it's, extravagant to the opposite. Plain, I guess, would be the opposite of extravagant. So buckle up, watch this tutorial. I hope it gives you the confidence to try it yourself, and we'll wrap back up at the end. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is log on to your Canva account, and in the top right corner there is an option to create a design. So you're going to select that purple button. These are all my suggested formats. Yours might not come up like that, so you're just going to type in Instagram, and there are a lot of Instagram options. I do typically go with the square. Once you do that, it's going to populate a blank template for you. It does do another tab, so it's really easy just to go back if you need to. You can also resize design, but we're not going to go there. Your goal while you do this is going to be to highlight your pattern enough, but not distract from your pattern. So if this is your first time creating a pattern in this way, or not creating, but presenting a pattern in this way, then you need to make sure that you're not overwhelming your audience. Okay, so first things first is, if I'm at this point, I know what my crochet pattern is. So I'm going to click this and I'm just going to title crochet pattern title by Little Lemon Stitches. I do really like to put my username up top so that if I sell this or if it floats around somehow on my Canva or off of my Canva, my name is attached to it there. And you want to make sure your name, your username, your account name, your business name is throughout your pattern. The next thing that I do, and you do what works best for you, but I do really like to type in my keyword on design. So we go to the left side, the word design, and I'm going to type lemon. And so because I have such a vague search, it's going to pull up a lot of different stuff. I could make it more specific, but right now I just sort of want some color inspiration. Did not mean to do that. So I'm going to scroll through and look at all these colors. My goal is to highlight my pattern, not the design. The design is supposed to enhance my pattern, so I don't want to pick anything, too crazy. Obviously, we have the colors yellow and green. I really liked this light green up here at the top. I'm actually going to click it, throw it on here, and I'm going to delete all this extra stuff. So when you hover over all these elements, it's going to show you a box, and I'm going to click the box and delete. You can also use the delete key on your keyboard. That works in Canva too. But I'm just going to get rid of all this extra stuff that I don't need. I just really liked this color. Okay, so this is going to turn into my title page. And I am just gonna go back to the left side, which is my toolbar. I'm gonna click text. And for me, I do like to just add a heading and play with the fonts. However, if you scroll down, you can see all these different options that you can choose and play around with. You can type different and search different fonts and combinations up at the top. I just want to emphasize again that you don't want to take away from your pattern. Your title page should really highlight what you're presenting to your audience. So I am going to click heading. And I'm just going to type crochet pattern title. It's a little big, so I'm going to use the corners to shrink it down. So with text boxes in Canva, and this you see it highlights a suggested box where I should keep it. I hover there, that shows me, that line in the middle shows me that it's in the middle, it's centered. For the text box, you can make it wider with these sides, these little lines on the side, and then to make it bigger, you can use those corners. You can also use the toolbar that pops up at the top to increase your font, to change colors. So the first thing I'm going to do is click the font, and it does have things categorized for you, all these different categories. It has recommended fonts, which I do really like, and then my recently used fonts, and you can just keep going from there. I'm just going to do one of my go-tos, which is Lazy Dog, and it changes the size a little bit. I am just going to make it a little bigger, and we'll act like, let's say this is a free crochet pattern, because I want that in my title. If it's free, I want people to look at it and know, okay, we can add that into our, to crochet later pile. So this is when I copy. Okay, so if you highlight the text, you look down here, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to bring it down, and this is just how my brain works. And I'm going to type any additional information here. Like if you didn't put free pattern, this is where you could put free pattern. Whatever I put here, I do normally make a little smaller, and then I just center it. So I grab it and I make sure the title is right there. So anything you need people to know, if you have multiple translations, you could say US, and my person Sky has done German for me before, so we'll put US and German translations. Just whatever, if there's any extra information that you feel like it's important for your audience to know, because this is going to be your attention grabber. This is what people see and decide if they actually want to do your pattern. Okay, and I'm going to duplicate this again. I need a smaller one, so I'm going to highlight my smaller text. And then I'm going to put, sometimes I put it off to the side, sometimes I put it here. I'm going to put my name. Little lemon stitches. Sometimes I collaborate with people, so I would put their name there as well. And this middle portion is saved for a picture of my pattern. So I'm going to go to uploads, and these, you can see all the things that I've been working on lately. These are where I upload my pictures, so you can download them. You can actually, if you have some type of app online that you can access photos, like I have Google Photos, I can actually just copy and paste from Google Photos straight into here. But for our purposes, let's pick, what are we gonna pick today? We'll pick my little burger. Okay, and so when you drop it in, it's probably gonna look like this. Doesn't look great, covers up the title. We don't want that. So we're gonna shrink it down. We're gonna make sure it's centered. Okay, and I do still have some overlap, so I'm going to show you how to get rid of that. In the top left, we have edit image. It's my son in the background if you guys can hear him. Okay, and so when you edit image, first we have all these effects, but if you don't want to deal with effects, you're just going to go straight to crop at that right side, and you're going to crop your picture down. Because I have so much extra space around that burger, people are not looking at the burger. Okay, and normally there is, okay, no, that's right, just ignore what I just said. Okay, so if this is your comfort level, this is your comfort level. It looks good. I know exactly what I'm going to be making. If I actually have the title there about a lemon burger, the picture is there, extra information, my name. This is great, okay? Because your audience knows exactly what they're going to be making. If you want to make it a little fancier, you're going to you're going to select your picture, edit image, and then we're going to select this top left. It says BG remover. That's background remover. And I'm going to remove that background. Now the trick with this is if you have a picture and your hand is in it, it's really hard to automatically get rid of your hand. And so you would have to use like an extra paintbrush to get rid of it. So I really recommend, if you want to do this, your picture not have a hand. You get it in a plain background as much as possible. So we will do that here. But like I said, the original picture was great. It's fine. Nothing was really distracting in the back. It's a good size, but if you want to be a little over the top, click background remover and it can elevate your pattern a little bit. Okay, so the next thing that I like to do on my pages is have a little information page. And so I don't want to have to redo all of this. I just want to be able to edit things that are already there. And so I'm going to hover over the bottom here, and you may have to, there might be a little tiny arrow that is hidden in your pages at the bottom in the middle. You may have to select that. And so I'm going to click my little icon here. There's 3 dots up at the top, and you can title your pages if you want. Up at the top, I have duplicate page. I'm going to duplicate that page, and I'm going to retitle this pattern information. I don't want that on 2 lines because I need some space. So I just widened the box, put it at the top. I'm gonna put this up here because I'm gonna type some information there. I'm gonna shrink down little lemon stitches. I wanna put that at the bottom so that every page has my name on it. Now you can get rid of your picture, or you can add another picture. You can, sorry guys, I dropped my phone. You can put him down at the bottom, like peeping out, like hello. You can have fun with it. Just remember, you don't want to take away from your pattern. So I'm actually just gonna tilt him. This button right here can tilt in different ways. And I'm gonna bring him down so he's just saying hello. Okay. So if you do purchase my pattern templates on Etsy, this is already done for you, sort of like a suggestion. You can also go to my Instagram and you can look at how, or my Ko-Fi, and look at how I've worded this. I just sort of combined it based on what I've seen other people do. I've added things here and there just based on what I've seen other people copy, not in a good way, and so I've edited it as I go. So you're welcome to take the way that I've done it. You can take mine word for word, just don't put my name in it, obviously. So I'm just gonna put, this is where you put what translation or language. So for instance, like, is this US or UK? And then, you know, there are other translations as well. So that's where you put the information. This is where you put how you want your pattern used. Ooh. So Are you okay with people selling their products? Are you okay with your pattern being shared in certain ways? And so those are things that you need to think of. And then this is where I like to put contact information. If for some reason your pattern floats around on the internet, then at least they have a way to contact you. I have an email that I put on there. You can also just tell them to reach out to you on Instagram or whatever your platform is. Okay, so after you put your pattern information, again, I'm going to duplicate this page. And I always do this last, but for you guys, I need to do it first. Tester appreciation. Ever since I spelled it wrong with my first pattern, I always doubt myself. So I'm going to put that up at the top because I always need a lot of space. I'm going to get rid of this guy right here. And the easiest way to do this is to go to elements on that left side. And I'm going to put picture frame. And if you click frames or hover over frames, there's a see all option on the right. There are tons of different frames, tons of different options. There's so many ways to appreciate your testers. When I did rice grains in a rice bowl, I put them like on a rice bowl, and that was really cool. There are other people who have done some creative things, but overall you just want to show what your testers have done. Not only does this give credit to your testers, but it also shows all the different designs, and so people can look and see, oh, it doesn't just turn out that way for this person's cover picture, it also turns out that way for regular people. And so it's good for your audience who you want to reel in to make your pattern, but it's also great to give appreciation to your people who worked hard for you. So let's just act like I have 3 testers. I'm going to click this little rounded corner box. And you can do this a bunch of different ways. I'm just going to do, let's see, I'll do 3 little boxes. I'm going to duplicate twice. I'm going to try to line them up here. Actually, let's do this. Let's do 2 on top. And if you notice, I'm using all these little pink lines that pop up to try to make sure everything is centered correctly. I'll put this here. Okay. You can also do, multiple tester appreciation pages. We are going to need a little text box, and so I'm actually going to duplicate this. If you notice, I use a lot of things that I've already done, and I just copy and paste and edit. So let's put at stitches. It looks weird when I have it there. And I'm going to take the text box and just line it up where I want it. I like to keep things pretty even if I can. Okay. At lemon. And then we need one more. At little. Okay. So you can put any other information you want. That's just the basics. If you have more than just 2 or 3, you can, put as many pages as you need to. But one thing to be mindful of is Instagram only allows you to upload 10 slides. So if this is something you're trying to put on Instagram, you can't have a ton of tester appreciation pages with your pattern, depending on how long your pattern is. Okay, so our next thing is going to be to start our pattern. I'm actually going to duplicate this page because it has a lot of text. And notice there are shortcuts, so Control D. And then I am going to select this duplicate and I'm going to drag it over here. And I'm going to name crochet pattern. I do normally put something like This pattern is written in using US terms. It has minimal sewing, or you can put no sew, low sew. You know, people like to know that information. So if we go back to the front, that's actually a good thing you could put here. You put low sew US. Yeah, we'll just put low sew. And then that way we can put our little free crochet pattern. And then low sew. Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of that little guy right here. If you need to move your name, you can, or try to get him out of the way. But this is where we start. And so let's act like this is some type of a lemony thing. Oh, I need to center that. Okay, so normally we're gonna start off with a body of some type. And so I'm gonna put body, and I'm actually gonna center this to the left because I do normally like to put a picture there. And this is where you start your rows. Now, of course, people can zoom in on your pattern, but you don't want to put too much per page unless you really have to. And then I'm actually going to put him down here. And this is where I would upload another picture. So let's see if I can actually find, yeah. Here's my little burgery guy. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and just shrink him down a little bit in the corner. I know I want him over here, and I'm going to edit image and remove background. Now this is going to be a good one for you guys to see how the hand doesn't go away. Okay. You can flip it so the hand is coming from a different direction. So up at the top next to edit image, we have flip, horizontal. So I could do this, and I could move my hand over like that. Or you could choose another image, or you can use that brush feature and just go through and get rid of all of that. But for our purposes, I'm not going to make you watch me do that. I also forgot, I normally do forget this. It's always great to put what yarn you're starting with. And so I would put start, no, I put it on here, start at the top of your lemon using yellow yarn. And then we would need to format that a little bit. And so this is when you would want to use some different features for your font. So I'm just gonna use the number feature up there. And so there's a basic page. Now I'm going to duplicate however many pages you have afterward. You're going to get rid of that title. And then whatever you need to put here, that's what you're going to put. So you can make it bigger if you need to. So we could say, you guys know what your pattern is, so I'm not going to tell you that. So face and details, use black yarn and 9mm safety eyes, blah blah blah. Okay, whatever else you need to put there. And that's where you're going to put more pictures, things that are going to come in handy. This is not a picture of eyes. Color changes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so sometimes it's good to have the whole picture so we can have it there. You can also use the feature we used earlier for testers. So if I go to elements, I can just put in a frame. This will be good for me to show you actually. When you want to put a picture in a frame, you can just hover over it and it puts it in there for you. So if you get that pattern template from Etsy, then it already has the frames in there for you, and you just drop them right in. So I'm going to show you one more time. So let's put a weird little puddle here. Ooh, keep grabbing things. We're going to go to uploads. I'm going to upload, which one? This guy. And then look, it's huge, but all I need to do is just pick it up and drop it. You can see there's sort of like a shadow. I'm going to drop it in there. And there we go. And so if it's not exactly the positioning you want, I've never done this before, so we're going to try. Let's go to edit image, crop. Yep. Okay, so edit image and crop. And you can actually just move him around. Let's say I didn't like this blank space. I'm going to make it a little bigger from the corner and then squeeze him right there. Save it or say done. And there's my weird little puddle shape. Okay, and so you'll do this however many times you need. And then you're gonna have a final page. And this is just where you're gonna say thank you, for making your pattern and give any reminders you need. So thank you for making, put your name here. I'm gonna go ahead and just make it a little bigger. I'm gonna put it to the middle. Let's say, don't forget to tag little lemon stitches when, let's say, to show off your final products. Smaller. Sometimes I do like to make these separate. So I'm going to click enter, leave a little space. These could be separate text boxes if you wanted them to be. Because I do like to make this a little smaller. And then sometimes you want to put a final product here. You can put your logo there too if you want to. Let's act like I have my logo readily available. We'll put our Le Mignon picture here. And there you have it. When you are ready to share, you're going to click the share button. If you're doing pattern testing, you're going to want to go to collaboration link. Anyone with the link. If you want people to edit, you can leave that feature. But if you don't want people to be able to move things around, you can click just view. You can make it to where they can comment. I do suggest that if you're pattern testing. I actually learned that from April, Crochet by April. For her groups, she has them do comments instead of putting everything in a chat or email, and I think that's pretty cool. And so just make sure it's can view or comment unless you want people to actually be able to move your stuff. Copy link, and then that's what you're going to share with the people. If you're ready to actually download it, you can do a PNG, a PDF. PNG works best if you're going to be posting this on Instagram. PDF is going to work well if you're uploading this on Ko-Fi or Etsy or something like that, so that people can view it a little easier and print it if they want to. Once that's ready, you'll download and you're good to go. I hope this tutorial was helpful for you. I hope you learned something new. And again, if you still feel like you need something just to get started, then you can go on my Etsy or my Ko-Fi and find that pattern template. I am working on a few more that aren't just the Instagram square so that you can have a few more options, especially if you're not looking to post a free pattern on Instagram. You want to have a few more options, and so I will be posting those soon, and I hope to get a few more tutorials. So if there was anything I missed, or if you have any questions or requests, then please throw that in the comments. And of course, as always, subscribe so that you can get more of this content and build your pattern writing skills.